Hi, guys. Welcome back to the baseline. So, was a ceasefire just announced? Is it real, or is this just another political illusion? Because tonight we're not just talking about peace talks, we're diving headfirst into the most dangerous game of political chess unfolding right now. So, Putin, Trump, oligarchs, NATO, the battlefield isn't just Ukraine anymore, it's the global order itself. So welcome again back to the baseline, guys. We're going to be covering so many different things, but this is where we're going to really try to strip away from the headlines. We're going to attempt to dig through the noise and give you guys the raw breakdown of what's just coming in. So buckle in. We've got a lot to cover, and it's going to shake a lot of our views of what's going on with this dangerous bromance between Trump and Putin, and why the end of this war might not be an ending at all, but the beginning of something way bigger, which is something the world definitely does not need more of right now. But that being said, guys, let's dive in and talk about the ceasefire illusion. And let's start with the word everyone loves to hear in wartime, which is ceasefire. It sounds peaceful enough, right? But strategic, hopeful. In this case, I don't know. It just seems like lipstick on a missile, if you would, right? So you got Russia announcing a unilateral ceasefire while still conducting drone attacks and reconnaissance. So while he's still shelling Ukraine defensive lines, that's not really a ceasefire. That's a Trojan horse with a flag on top. And the idea, it seems like it's to trick the West into a breath, just long enough for Russia to regroup, reload, and then realign its forces. Now, here's the kicker to all this stuff. While all this is happening, Putin's messaging is being carefully controlled. His generals, they are putting a smile for the cameras, but behind the scenes, reports from the battlefield say soldiers are dying and civilians are still being displaced. And as far as infrastructure goes, it's still being hit. So ask yourself, why declare a ceasefire? Especially if you don't intend to honor it. Now, the answer might be simple enough, right? Optics, leverage, propaganda. Because when you declare a ceasefire, you put your enemy in a corner. Because now, if they keep fighting, they look like the aggressor. And in the court of public opinion, it seems like strategic warfare, doesn't it? So what do you guys think about all this? Drop a comment. Do you think this ceasefire was ever real? Or is just this another Kremlin con to catch us off guard? So now, this comes to the next part, which is the relationship between Trump and Putin, the Trump-Putin relationship. Let's talk about the bromance that might just reshape the battlefield. Now, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, because last week they got on the phone and boom, Trump comes out and says a ceasefire deal is in motion. Ukraine even agrees to it. But who ended up not agreeing to it? Well, yeah, you guys guessed it. It is Vladimir Putin. No deadline, no details, no commitments. And that's like shaking hands on a dinner date and never showing up to the restaurant. Now, this isn't new. Trump has always seen himself as a deal maker. You know, the guy that can walk into a room and charm dictators into laying down their weapons. And to his credit, he does have a powerful personality on getting certain things done, especially here in the United States. But it doesn't seem to work much on Trump. And it doesn't work on these KGB-trained chess players. Putin isn't looking for a handshake. For now, he's looking for strategic gain. And he knows Trump wants to look like the peacemaker before the election, especially the midterm elections that's coming up, but it almost looks like he's getting played. like a fiddle made in Moscow, right? But what Putin really wants, that is really the big question. So let's ask that. Let's ask the big question here. What does Putin actually want? Is this really about NATO? Is it really about Ukraine? Or is this something bigger? And the truth is, it could be about an empire. Because since day one, Putin has wanted to resurrect the Russian Empire. And that's not speculation. That's straight from his own speeches. He believes the collapse of the Soviet Union was a Western plot. And he's convinced that reclaiming Ukraine piece by piece, that is his legacy. He wants it to be his legacy. But now he's kind of stuck. You know, his army is battered. His Black Sea fleet, you know, it's not in the best shape it's ever been. And sanctions are starting to crush the economy. And yet he keeps going. Why? I think because in his mind, to stop now is to lose everything. So it brings us into this whole concept of the business of war and following the money. Now, if we do follow money, because behind every bullet fired, there's a check being cashed. And that's where the oligarchs enter into this whole thing, right? The factory owners, the arms manufacturers, the shipping barons, they are making billions off of this war. And guess what? They don't want it to end. I mean, why would they? They're not the ones bleeding on the front lines. And their kids, they're not the ones in the trenches. It just so happens they're on the yachts, they're enjoying their lives, they're drinking champagne, and that's really the cold truth about it. And Russian soldiers, deep down, they know it. I wonder if all soldiers know that. But let me not digress. Reports from the front say troops are pretty angry, disillusioned, and furious that while they die, businessmen feast. So this isn't just a war, it's a profit machine. And the longer it drags out, the more these elites get to cash in. Now, can Russia really afford this? Here's the million ruble question. Can Russia even afford this war anymore? Oil is their lifeline, but prices have been plummeting. And when oil dips below $50 a barrel, Russia runs out of cash, and they run out of it pretty fast. That's why they're desperate, or at least they look as though that they are. That's why Putin is pushing this fake ceasefire narrative. That's why oligarchs are lobbying behind the scenes, because they know that the clock is ticking. And without oil, Putin's war machine, it can grind to a halt pretty quickly. Now, could economic collapse be the thing that finally ends this war? Let me know what you guys think. And I want to thank you guys again for watching The Baseline. We'll catch you guys on the next episode. And I hope you guys are watching and enjoying the channel. And we'll catch you in the next round. All right. Cheers, everybody.